and create my own project folder. So I'm trying to handhold you on how to do vibe coding. So vibe coding through this anti-gravity. So let's go to my C drive. I can just create one quick folder, empty folder. So for instance, 2026 anti-gravity. Anti-gravity. Okay, so from here, right? So I can just directly open my folder. Open this folder from the C drive, this one. So when I open it, it's new, everything is new, right? So it's an empty folder. So you can start your project from scratch, from here. So for you guys, right, anything you want to build, so any problems you have today, so this is discussion. So any problem statement you throw, then I can just build it now. Well, never mind, just restart. So from here, right, I'll just add this 2026. So we type the entire thing in. So I have an intent to understand the number of fire escape staircase for institutional building typology. So advise me, right? Advise me how to build a simple app for it. Okay, so just now I was trying to explain this anti-gravity. So for live demo, so everything is live, so I'm not sure what it will happen, right? So, and this is normally how I do. I have an intent, so I just throw it into this and so-called Visual Studio Code. But here, I just learned that anti-gravity is now free of charge. Okay, I have this model, Claude Sonnet 4.6, which I need to pay in Visual Studio Code. But in here, it's free of charge. Okay, so I just try. So there are two modes that I can have. One is planning, another one is fast agent. Okay, fast agent means when I select this, right? So it will go and do whatever. It's like a virtual assistant. So it will build according to your intent. Okay, so for now, I just key in. I have one intent. I want to understand the number of fire escape staircase for institutional building typology. Advise me how to build an app. So I have provided the SCDF fire code 2023 in assets folder. Please build your app in 2026 anti-gravity. Okay, so in this simple prompt, right, I give them my intent, where do you get the data, and where should you provide your output. So I just do a quick run, just send. Okay, so then the AI will go and think. So let me start by reading the SCCF code, right? First thing is the AI need to understand what's happening. So to understand relevant regulations for institutional buildings, then I'll build the app. This life, so so I never tried this before as well. What I tried is similarly, it's like a conversation with the AI, but in Visual Studio Code. Yeah. So as you can observe, right? So here, please capture a screenshot of all the relevant pages. What? I cannot. So in here, I cannot, right? How? Can you? So first thing, can you convert? Create an app to convert the PDF into text. The text for your interpretation. Interpretation and ingestion for the analysis. This is for app building. Okay, by the way, I'm not English educated, I'm Chinese educated. So please forgive me my power of language here. So in here, right, this is not perfect English, right? So I just throw in my intent, throw in my intent. So can you create an app so to convert the PDF into text so that you can understand and ingest and take on the analysis for the app building. So now I'm asking him to create another app because he cannot understand PDF, right? So please capture screenshot. He ask me to capture screenshot. I cannot do that. It's hundreds of pages or 200 or few hundred of pages. So from here, so it's I think the URL, doing the app. So this is the way that I do vibe coding. Maybe I can show you what I did in Visual Studio Code. It's very similar. The entire user interface and experience, it's exactly the same, but it's much more faster. Okay, so as you can see, so this is my Visual Studio Code. So I've clicked twice, so it's open twice. So in here, right, just now I was doing something. So for instance, I open up my earlier chatbot. Okay, so this is my ongoing project. So I have developed a very simple chatbot using Ollama. So for here, right, let's continue the chat. Just now I was chatting with it. So can you just open the browser UI to show what already built? Okay, so I'm opening the browser UI now. So I'm checking that the root page response. So let's open this, allow in this session, allow. So when, fail to lock, so it's failing, okay. Okay, please resolve it. Please resolve the issue. Okay, browser tab is open, but local server was not responding. So as you can see, right, it's actually self-debugging. So it asked me to run the thing, then allow. Okay. So this is how Vibe programming is being explored and used. So even there's a problem, so it will self-resolve. Yeah, I repeat my question this time. I want to understand. I want to build a use case. In here, I want to build a use case to understand the number of staircases. This is also an exam question. The number of staircases, skip 5, skip staircase up. So I'm incorporating the actual use case into the browser UI. So I just built the browser UI, which is this one, right? Yeah. So there are a lot of things that I'm trying to work on several projects. This is ongoing, this is not really mature, so I'm just trying out. Okay, I'm checking how the use case will fall on my browsing, right, so that I can map a fire escape stair count workflow. So I'm not counting. Okay, counting part. Set this is how the entire app is being built. So Samuel, are you ready?
Hi, good evening everyone. So let's start. My name is Sam. I'm from RSP. I'm the IDD and BIM specialist there. So I would like to share about my last year's use case regarding the SIA Hackathon. So basically this use case, we are tackling BIM coordination, and are there any BIM coordinators in the room? No? Okay, I just give a brief explanation about how we do BIM coordination. So we used to use Navisworks to kind of federate models together, and then we find clashes. So this process always brings about a lot of clashes, so up to 10,000, maybe up to 100,000. So that's when you build in a big project, right? So in here, we are trying to use AI to tackle this issue. Okay, so last year what we did was MVP, minimum viable product, that processes the raw data from Navisworks into something we can work on inside Revit. Because in how we've done it is when everything is in Revit, you don't have to go across different applications to find out how to solve it. So we have an approach called pair. So this pair is prioritization, assignment, identification, and resolution. So first of all, we will prioritize the highest scoring clashes, highest priority, and then based on that, we will use AI. In this case, I use Gemini to assign a description towards this clash and can tell you how to resolve it. And identification will be about how do you identify this clash inside Revit, because Navisworks and Revit, they do have a bit of interoperability, but it's not really seamless. So we bring this back to Revit, and resolution will be done by humans. So we will identify where the clash is, and then we go and do the resolution. And clash data will come from Revit and Navisworks. Automation, I use a platform, open source platform called NAN. So this one is, you can do it self-hosted, and it's free to use. And I've used AI LLMs. So last year we did Trailblazers as well. So Trailblazers, we got Gemini AI credits from Google to help us do it. And we also tried to use Olama, which is like self-hosted AI in the local PC, and then we run it through. So it works with everything: ChatGPT, AI, Gemini, Claude, etc. So going through the workflow, we have a project file in Revit, and then we have a Navisworks clash detection report in HTML, and then we have a Google Sheets kind of priority weightage scoring for each category, and we have PyRabbit. So this is Python built inside Revit, and this is how we've done it. Just quickly show a video, and here you can see that we have done the clash detection inside Navisworks. And coming back to Revit, we set the different disciplines. Okay. I've got different disciplines, and this is my workflow in NAN. And after that, it uses a webhook to basically link NAN with Rabbit, and then Rabbit will send the data to NAN. Okay. Send the data to NAN and it processes. Okay, upload is done. So it will process and slowly it goes through. And here, what we have here is AI agent that processes your description for each clash. And going forward, everything's done. Okay, so when the report is done, it will be sent back to Rabbit. And inside Rabbit, we can display this report. So as you can see here, there is all the data from Navisworks will be out, and the description generated by AI is also out. And then if you see on the left side here, we have an isolate button. So clicking this isolate button, we will isolate the clash and the link because we can't separate, we can't isolate the whole link, otherwise it will be gone. And this is how it's shown. So you can see that it brings you directly to the clash, and then you can see the problem immediately. So that's how we identify the clash. So this is my whole walkthrough. At first we parse the data first, coming from Navisworks, and then we do a prioritization, which is assigning a weightage score. And then we have an assignment. So assignment by AI, by the way. Then we send back the data to Rabbit. And here, so this is just a brief explanation of how we've done it. So we have the category score. So let's say structural category, we have like very high category, and then MEP also very high. Usually these two are what we always look for in coordination. So once we have this, and then we multiply it by a severity factor, which is derived from the distance of the clash from Navisworks. And once you have that, then we have like a score of maybe like 10,000, 8,000, and then we will sort it by the highest clash score, and then that's how you know it's being prioritized. Here is my prompt engineering to get the agent to basically come up with a description of how to resolve this clash. So there's a sample description. And after that, we go back to Rabbit. This is how the report is going to look like. We have the clash score from NAN. So you can see this, the highest one is like 32,000. So the scaling wise, the user can determine themselves. And we have the clash description from the AI agent and the clash data from Navisworks that tell you where or what is it. Okay, so this is the identification. So isolating the clash in Rabbit, we can quickly switch in and we see that this red item is clashing. So the team will take it and resolve it. So after the hackathon, we improved a bit on the workflow. So what we've done here is that we've taken an agentic approach, and so we analyze the clash based on 5 different agents. So assessing the severity, assessing the cost implication, assessing the time implication, discipline, who is responsible to solve it, and also a strategy agent, so how do you solve it? And then we input everything back into a full-on coordinator, and that gives us the full description of how to resolve it. So here, it's the same workflow, except you have more AI agent components come into play, and each one takes a different role. So it goes through one by one, and this is running Olama, by the way. Alright, so everything's done, updated, and go back to display report, and we see that, well, it's much more detailed for the description. Okay, so this is some future considerations. We haven't really worked on it yet. So we wanted to take this to make it platform agnostic. I mean, as Content X is coming in, then everyone can use IFC to facilitate the clashing and incorporate BCF, so it ties back to your model and have an interactive UI. So we can keep on updating and it will resolve gradually. Next one is to train the AI model, and maybe you can identify headroom clash, and maybe you can identify modeling inaccuracies. So let's say if something is off by 50 mm and it's consistent, so maybe the AI can tell us how maybe this whole part here is not aligned, let's say. And we want to put in more automated functions. We do automated reporting, and so this one will be kind of a QA QC thing, and give robust, better suggestion on how to resolve the clash, let's say. And we can keep track of an archive of what are the changes going forward. So, so for this year, I just want to give like a takeaway from this. I would say for last year, my kind of MVP is not the most sophisticated or the most technologically advanced, but I feel like my intention was to tackle this major issue that is happening in the industry. So I hope maybe this year we find more right problems and we have a lasting impact. And good luck, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate your slides. Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, sure.
Can you go back to the slides?
Go back to the slide.
Sorry, my name is Kenny. I'm a software guy. I'm a software developer.
Okay.
Okay, you hold this. I want to ask about this.
Yep.
How you determine the workflow? Is it by your experience, your domain knowledge experience to define the workflow?
Yes. It's true defined beyond domain knowledge.
Okay.
Going forward. So usually when consultants do clash detection on Navis works, they always find it very hard to go back to Revit, especially if they don't have like the Navis works switch back. So we want to provide alternative, and this one incorporates how do we tell the most value-adding clash that we want to solve, because we don't have a lot of time, even through the whole coordination process.
I know the problem. Okay. Can you go back to the score?
To the score.
There's a slide talk about the scoring.
Yeah, this one?
No, this one, the results. After go through the workflow, the AI tell you the...
This one?
Yeah. So my next question, do you do training about this part?
Do training, like AI training?
Yes.
No, this is purely data processing.
Okay. So basically you don't do training in these projects. You just, based on what you have, the tools, and then from the results, you fix your workflow. Do you go back at your workflow to fix?
Yes, of course.
Okay, training means you first you try to improve your workflow that based on human knowledge to say this is the best, not based on AI to tell you, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think what we're missing is you need to do a training.
Yes.
You need a training, but then how much data you have?
Okay. The thing is, I have limited data because I can't use office projects because there's a breach of confidentiality.
Okay. Let's define training data. Training data can be based on your domain knowledge, expert data, right? Can also based on some open source data, which is you can use Gemini or some other tools to go and query. In fact, they have a model there. So my question is, will you have used this data to train on what you have? Because your data is not enough.
Yeah.
Listening to them talk.
Sorry.
You understand my question?
Yeah, I understand your question. I recognize that my data set is limited and there could be, I could have done more to substantiate this whole workflow.
Yeah. You don't mind to go to your last slide? Yeah. The future developments.
Okay.
Actually, we come here to work with, we try to find partners to work with. We know there's a problem with the IFC formats where you have to do a lot of manual work.
Yeah.
Right? So if you, in future development, if you can maybe say 70% train data, and then you can get some good result which is acceptable by your domain knowledge expert. We say, okay, good, this one is good. Then we can come to resolve the problem for the BIM IFC format, where when you want to export, because I attending last year about this connects, they're still very manual.
Yeah.
So the platform can actually help you to solve the interface, the mapping issue.
Yes, we can definitely do that. So
Yeah.
you're talking about using AI to map the parameters. Yeah. So yeah, okay, thank you for your question.
And I don't mind to say something about the proof demo. I think Gemini himself also admits that the AI tools just now we presented, the anti-gravity, is a problematic product. It's still in the very beginning. I think we are still not in the stage that AI can replace human. I'm a developer. I hope that we can use AI to write a search engine better than Google. Is it possible now? I don't think it's possible.
It's not possible now.
Yeah.
It will be possible after 5 years.
That is future. I think there are a lot of money. I think the market is, to me, is like the .com. The time that I don't know whether anyone remember the .com burst.
Yeah.
When you talk about AI, when you talk about .com, everything is possible. That's why the market is crashed. Now it's very big. Even a lot of people ask me, hey, can you reduce your developer from 20 people to like 5 people using AI? We do, okay, yes, AI tools very, very useful. My team now pay to third-party tools to review our code. Certain code is very troublesome to write, like looping. Everyone can write program, but if you want to write a program like 1,000 people access, the system won't hang, even log in. That is a challenge. So, and writing program is not so simple. There is many back-end, front-end, especially today technology. You need to consider big data, how you scale up, front-end, how to design a simple design, and then back-end, you need to do a lot of coding. So, you have front-end programmer, you have back-end programmer, you also have an architect to design. Right? As I know, 20 years ago when I write AI, we use neural network, we use Python. We need to really go and hard code. The time for AI already, actually that one is algorithm, it's AI. Today you don't need. You tell description, you tell them, and then they got many libraries, you can pull it up as a reference. So the courses also teach you, you do coding. But I think you still need human to be involved. There's no way you can replace. You cannot, in the other words, you cannot use AI to do better than Google search, just for instance, which is not possible. So to write a good program, like to improve this future development, you still need, let's look at this future development. Yes, AI training is important, but it's not so difficult for your projects, because there are many ways to do it. But you still need to look at, like, Connect format. When we attend the courses, it tells us you have to manually go and fit. Okay, that is something you need to automate, make it easier, right? The platform, and then tell you what is the issue. Yeah. So I think future development, this project is quite interesting. If we can find a few partners to work with, then actually we have the platform. We have a platform to export to IFC format. We also know how to interface with Ravis and Navis, extract the data. We also know how to use Python to get the score. Of course, we are not domain. How to reduce the prices. The domain will come in. What are the parameters you look at, right?
Yeah.
That one we can help you.
Yeah.
That is our strength.
I mean, for me, in my personal experience, I did this with minimal coding experience. Yeah. It's more or less all white coding. So what I'm trying to say for the hackathon is that it doesn't mean you have to be very good at coding or very adept to know, but the intention is important.
Yeah, the objective must be clear, and then the next phase, which is the future development, you really need coding.
Yes.
You cannot like tell Gemini, give me some code to achieve this. Input all this to Gemini, and then it will give you a sample prototype. That is not possible.
I can't do this at scale, what you're trying to say. Okay. So that's my presentation. Any other questions? Not, and thank you very much.
So Keith, welcome Keith. Evening from tech side. So thank you for sharing. So maybe you can introduce yourself and give a bit of background so that we can understand what you'll be sharing in the agency.
Hello everybody, Keith here. So thanks for that presentation. I'm actually covering an today, but I wanted to give you guys a tutorial on how to make it useful. Yeah, so today, I'll kind of be going through a few of the workflows. I'll give you a quick introduction. So my name is Keith. I'm an enterprise consultant at Network, mostly handling the data center side of the business. But in the past, kind of did a lot of AI TensorFlow back in 2017. So it's simple. So LLM is the solution I'm using as well. Quite simple. I hope to give you guys something that's easy to implement or something that you can look through or you can build yourself. So it's a low-code software solution to automate majority of your workflows. And it's open source. You can run it locally by yourself, or you can run it like on the cloud, like what SIA-YAL has mentioned. So kind of get you guys started. I'll show you like a very simple workflow. So this is like something like a basic of what you need to get started with AI. You have a little chat here. You put in the chat. It gives you a nice chat here. Put in the agent, and you put in the model you want. And when you do this, it's actually very easy. Right? If I say hello, you can actually see the flow of the model, and the model responds to you. Right? So to then add more things to it, you can very easily put in, let's say, memory. Because now, if you talk to the model, I say, my name is Keith. You say hello. But if I ask it after that, what is my name? Quickly, the model will not be able to do something like this. So you see here, the probably forget. See, it doesn't know my name. But to use like an it's actually very easy. To add something like memory, you can just pull up something like this. So I add a memory object, I close it, and now if I say my name, it will now remember this object as I move on. So I say hello to me again, and I say what is my name. So here you see the model is already able to understand. It stores the conversation history, and it's something that it's really quite easy to set up, right? It's like maybe 5 or 6 buttons. Right? So So like what Samuel showed actually had a much larger set of tools, but the essence of setting it up is actually quite simple. So if I were to ask, like, say, a question, like a very hard mathematical question, like, what is this multiplied by this, divided by this? It's going to take a while, and it's most likely not going to give me the right answer. You'll just come out with some number. So if you were to add tools to any n, it's generally really easy. You can do something like this, like a calculator. Right? So I put in the calculator tool, I close it, I'll nicely see a calculator here. And if I ask the same question, let's see if the model is correct. You can very easily see here that it starts to use the calculator rather than just go through everything. So it looks like the model was not correct on the first time. It was quite close, but it didn't actually get the right answer. So this is a very simple example of a tool that can be built in like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Right? It doesn't take much effort. Something that's like a little bit more complex than I wanted to demo would be something like this. So this is a bit more complicated of a flow. So I hooked it up to Telegram. Right? So you can see here, it stops me. Earlier I was just testing the kind of data and what it can do. But I basically hooked it up to do 3 things. It can send emails for me, it can set meeting appointments for me, and it can save contacts that I want. So can I give you an example of how this all works? Say I execute this workflow. So this links to a Google Sheet, by the way, that's up here. So I can very easily just say to anyone, like, do something like, hey there, could you get a new contact? Something like this. You can see it runs very well. And just now you saw a very simple calculator tool, right? But it's very easy to add other tools that like include your Gmail, they include your calendar. Right? And the model is able to recognize these things. So here I added the Google Sheet, and it should, if it works, add it to this. It's not probably above could be my authentication, but that's the rough idea behind this flow. So if I wanted to do something like send an email, similar process, I can just go execute the flow. Or how many calendar, reminder, 19th of March, so I will visit the library. So run through a very simple tool like this. It's the calendar tool, you see it, right? And then it should, if all works, put something in my calendar for me. So I set something for the 19th of March. See, yeah, so I get something like this. So this can be quite useful when you're on the go because I can use my phone. If it's a model, I can use my phone. I can just say, hey, why not I set up? So similar back to this. So now I'm executing the workflow each time, so you can see the way it tracks, right? But eventually, if I'm running it, I will just leave it live, but I won't get this nice visual interface of seeing how everything connects. Could you change the walk the dog appointment from the 19th to the 20th of March at the same time? So now it kind of understand, it transcribes the recording, as you can see that, and it goes to the agent, does almost similar stuff, goes back to the calendar too, and it just, if it all works, you should push it to the next. Oops. Someone said walk the dog. Yeah, it says no walk the dog. So let's run it again. So because it has some history, you see just now I showed you guys some history, I attached the history to it, you will have the context of what I just said and what I said before. And with that, it's very easily able to kind of go back and forth and handle these queries. So we always move and see response. Oh, it created a new one for you. So some of these things are still a little bit loose and vague, but just to add a extra point here, I'm using a very old model actually to run this. So if you were to open this up, see I'm using ChatGPT 4.1 review. So this is something that came out like early last year or end of the year before. So if you're using newer models, you can kind of expect it to be a lot more powerful the way that it can perform. So this is how you can use it a bit more in practice. So this is the second kind of demo I wanted to give you guys. The first was the simple chat, and the second is the agent. And the third would be what we call retrieval augmented generation. Has anybody ever heard of this before, seen this? So this is the idea. In the past, when people wanted to kind of like add their own data to a model, they had to go through a complex process of training the models on their own data. But nowadays, what models can do is they can reference documents. Right? And by referencing those documents, you'll be able to give the model some sort of context to work with. So to give you an example of this. So this all looks very complicated, but very similar to the first example I gave you. All I've done is I've added this vector store. So vector store basically is it's like a database that stores a document that's been converted to vectors. So vectors are what the model understands. So I can take a PDF or whatever it is and put it into a vector store, and the model can access this for context. So here's the vector store. You can do this all for free, so I'm not paying a cent for most of it. And here I've dropped in a document containing like SIA's current console numbers. So if I want to show you how a model would work without such a vector store, let's say I ask the model, could they give information it should not be able to do this. So most likely tell me that, oh, I know I'm not up to date, I've been trained in the past, I won't be able to give you a result. That's what I'm expecting it to say. See, I don't have live access to the web, I can't. Right? But if I want to connect it to this vector store, which is attached to the document that I pasted in all the console level and stuff like that. Alright, let's ask the same question again. So now in this case, it should run, see now it's running through the vector store, and it's able to access all the documents that I fed to it. In this case, I fed it one document, which is the console members. And if it does everything correctly, it should be able to give the results of all the different members. That's it. So here you can give the name, the office bearers, and all that. So with this method, right, you can actually add lots of different contexts to the models you want, whatever documents, to make it all work. And if you were to compare this entire flow to the flow that I did earlier, it's really like an extra one step. So this is something that will take you maybe 15-20 minutes to set up. And once it's set up, you can just keep dumping documents in and it all work. And there are actually ways to make it really easy. Like for me, I set up the way to collect documents through Telegram as well. So literally, if I need to collect a document, I'll do something like this. I'll go to my Telegram here, and I'll drop in a document like this. So let's say I drop in current members, or I drop in history. Yes, I do this. So you see, you run through this. It uploads the file to Google Drive. And from Google Drive, I have another additional step to convert it to a vector store. And none of this has any code whatsoever. So it's really simple to set up. And for me, it will be quite fast for you guys. With a little bit of help, it may take maybe 20 to 30 minutes. So now that I've added this in, I can have, in this case, SIA's history as part of this model as well, and the model is able to understand it. And this way, I don't need to do any training whatsoever. I can just keep providing more and more documents to the model itself. But I think the final thing I wanted to show you guys is, so I think just now Samuel was mentioning he was running Olama, right? Versus not using the public API like ChatGPT. The process of doing something like that is actually very simple as well. You see here's the agent, right? So I can ask the agent, go there. Very similar, it just gives me an answer. But if I wanted to use a model that is running on my own laptop, so I've already set up the GPU and stuff like that, all I need to do is shift this to Olama. Once I run Olama with this, it should give me the exact, it'll be much slower because it's running on my computer and it's not running on the cloud. But it should get the answer in a matter of time. Let's just give it some time to load. I'll check my GPU is running as well. Okay, so you can see here my GPU is not running, but now here my GPU is running. Okay. And now it's kind of giving me an answer. So to kind of set this up, it's actually really easy and something that with a little bit of, talking to an AI, you can actually figure it out yourself. Okay, so that's all I kind of wanted to show you guys. Thank you very much. Do you all have any questions?
That user interface was in NAN.
Yes, that's NAN's user interface itself. If you're using the online version, right, so I'm juggling two versions. I have the version which is running on my own laptop, right, so here you can see it's running on my own computer, this one. But I have a second instance which is running on the cloud. And the cloud instance you see here I'm using NAN, it actually comes with it comes with an AI. So I can create a workflow, talk to the AI, and get the AI to build the NAN workflow for me. See, you can build this AI, and I can run it around. So it's actually quite flexible in the way that you can get it to work, but you may encounter some bugs that may need a little bit of help with. Okay, I'm the last speaker, right? So I actually wanted to see. Oh, sorry.
Are there any time where you need like coding? Are there any time where you need coding for, let's say, the link that you showed just now?
The link that I showed just now.
Yeah.
Okay, everything that I am doing in particular is no code. Right? So you may require some understanding of systems as a whole. Right? Like for example, to set something like this up, you need to be able to drop in like API keys, for example, because I need to connect my Gmail, for example, and I can't just log into Gmail and it all works. Right? So there are some of these areas that you may need a little bit of help with, but everything I've shown you today, I did not write any code whatsoever. Anyone else? Sure, thank you so much, everyone.